Imagine boarding a plane. A man sitting quietly nearby suddenly hands a note to a flight attendant. The note says he has a bomb. A few hours later, he receives $200,000. Then he jumps from the aircraft into the darkness, and somehow, he is never seen again. This is the mystery of D.B. Cooper. It was the day before Thanksgiving in 1971. A middle-aged man purchased a one-way ticket from Portland, Oregon to Seattle. The ticket cost just $20. He gave his name as Dan Cooper. Witnesses described him as calm, polite, well-dressed. Nothing about him seemed suspicious. He boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305. Nobody knew they were about to become part of one of history's greatest mysteries. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner. At first she thought it was a phone number. She slipped it into her purse. Then Cooper leaned toward her and quietly said, "Miss, you'd better read that note. I have a bomb." The note demanded money and parachutes. When she sat beside him, Cooper briefly opened his briefcase. Inside appeared to be wires and cylinders. The threat seemed real. The plane landed in Seattle. Authorities decided to cooperate. Cooper received $200,000 in cash, equivalent to more than $1 million today. He also received 4 parachutes. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of escaping immediately, he released the passengers. Only the crew remained on board. And then Cooper ordered the aircraft back into the air. Cooper instructed the pilots to fly south. The aircraft cruised through darkness. Rain battered the plane. The temperature dropped. Then Cooper moved toward the rear staircase. At approximately 8:13 p.m., something unusual happened. The pilots noticed a sudden movement. The aircraft shifted. Investigators believe this was the moment Cooper jumped. Somewhere over the wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. The FBI launched one of the largest investigations in American history. Agents searched forests, mountains, rivers. Entire communities were questioned. Hundreds of suspects were examined. Years turned into decades. Yet no trace of Cooper was found. No body, no parachute, no clear evidence. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Years passed and then, nearly 9 years later, a breakthrough occurred. A young boy was digging on the banks of the Columbia River. Suddenly, he discovered bundles of decaying cash. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom money. The discovery proved one thing. At least some of the money had survived. But it created an even bigger question. How did it get there? Nobody knows. Over the years, countless theories emerged. Some believe Cooper died during the jump. Others believe he survived and escaped. Dozens of suspects have been proposed. Yet none have been conclusively linked to the crime. The mystery only grew. More than 50 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. The FBI eventually suspended active investigation. No arrests were made. No definitive answers were found. And D.B. Cooper became a legend. A man who boarded a plane, collected a fortune, jumped into the night, and disappeared forever. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Did he survive the jump, or did he disappear into the wilderness forever? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to The Hidden Record for more strange but true stories.